Achievement is believed to be a testament to human potential. We often define our value in life based off our achievements. But why do we hunger so much for achievement? Why can't the human mind be satisfied? My name is Rosemary Willie. Welcome back to Game of Life, where we explore the secrets to living a fulfilled and purposeful life. We'll continue our journey on the celebration of Sphoorthi Synopsis. And we have back here Mr. Devank Shukla.
Thank you, Rosemary.
How have you been?
It's good.
We had an amazing time with the first aspect of the book, ability. Today, we would have even more experience discussing achievements. I'm going to go through what the master has written. But before I go on, I want us to focus back and remember that this book was written by an amazing master,
Shri Guru Vishwa Sphoorthi, the divine person,
which you've had a lifetime of learning and relearning. So, achievement: maneuverable endeavor with vivid and candid candor slants and lands the splendid outcome. That's a lot of, it's like a reading. It's a lot of words.
So I think, Rosemary, we discussed in our last session also
ability
that when master writes, he tries to condense 10 pages into one line. And that too, it has a divine combination, a poetic sense also. So imagine one is condensation of 10 pages, and the second is trying to find a rhythm, a divine rhythm by a divine man. So when we read, generally we get a kind of, okay, are we able to decipher the meaning? But we will break into it and we will see the import and the implication of what he means by this.
Okay. So when you say maneuverable endeavor,
so very nice. So
vivid and candid candor slants.
Okay. So let us see why does he use the word maneuverable endeavor. So imagine you are trying a way to achieve your objective and that way is not working. Let's take an example of a football match. There is a defense and there is an attack. Now imagine the defense is so strong that even when there is a play from midfielder, it's not getting through the defense. So they are maneuverable endeavor. You have to try something different. And you must have seen in some of the matches like Brazil, the back came in the front and scored a goal. So that was something the other team did not imagine also. Generally, we feel the midfielder, the right striker, the center forward will score the goal. But here the person at the back could go the whole way and score the goal. This is not only, since our topic is game of life and we are really talking of a game, but this happens all the time in our work front also.
Something comes to mind.
Correct.
Because when you talk about the game of life or the center of our theme today, which is achievement, people are really focused on wealth. Right? The richer you are in society, it looks like you have more respect and So if a person aims to be rich, right? And say they have a 9-to-5 as opposed to a business, which means that they have a certain salary every month. It means that you are sort of reliant on that salary. When you say that the master says maneuverable endeavor, does that mean that you get to do anything by hook, by crook to get more wealth? Is this because if I'm doing the right thing, which is going to work every day, and say I get paid peanuts, and maybe there's an opportunity in that same line for me to earn more, but it might not be seen as the most, let's say, legal route. Right? Am I allowed to do something else? Because that's what the master says, isn't it?
I think if the master would have put a comma after maneuverable endeavor, or if he would have put a full stop, maybe your interpretation would have gone right. And imagine in our this example, also in football, when you were not getting through, you tried to play foul, you tried to break the rule. That will not help you. Because we have to achieve the goal with integrity and ethics. The whole universe we can manage first by managing oneself. And like you started the discussion, values. So the values need to be intact. While one may face hardship, but maneuverable endeavor means creativity. Imagine there is a movie director or a serial director and he is trying the old tested formula. So people know, what is the sequence that will come and they will not appreciate. But the directors which have done very well are the directors with innovative mindset. They have not taken unethical way, but they have broken the barriers of performance. So maneuverable endeavor with vivid. Vivid means the full spectrum we need to explore. Let's say we have like 7 colors. So from white to the end, all colors we need to explore. We don't need to, when we are working, we don't need to face the wall. Some people, what they do is they try their way and then they get frustrated and say, it's not working. It's not working because of 2 factors. One is the willpower. The second is an innovative sense. So your endeavor, like a plane, is maneuverable. You have ways to achieve and to reach same destination. Imagine you have selected such a good location here for our discussion. You have many roads to reach to this location. Imagine one of the road is blocked. You still have another way. But if you are not with an open mindset, you may get frustrated saying, this road is blocked. No, so we need to cancel the discussion or we need to cancel the appointment.
Okay, thank God you said that, because I had something in mind. Because if it's possible, because what I hear from this is there's always a way out of every situation.
Very nice.
If that is really possible, why is it that we have a high rate of depression or suicide? It means that these people are somewhat troubled by a situation.
Yeah.
When you get to that point where you say, okay, I have no way out, how do you begin to search for a way? Because when you're clouded with your troubles, your issues, it is very difficult to then sit down and say, okay, there has to be another way out. How do you sit down? Thank God the last episode we talked about introspect. So how do you then come up with a way to, how do you maneuver in a difficult situation?
So I think
especially with your mind.
Okay. I think let us take the full sentence. Maneuverable endeavor
with vivid and candid
candor. So candid candor also means with truthfulness, not trying the foul means, devious means, and focused on the target. While you need to be with an open mindset to explore the ways. I can give you many examples. It can be more than thousands, but let us see in history, in personal life, in other, I can give you many examples. So what comes to my mind right now is Thomas Alva Edison tries 1,000 ways to bring electricity, to bring a bulb, and he couldn't succeed. And one person said, are you really frustrated by the 1,000 ways? He said, I'm not frustrated. I know for sure that these 1,000 ways do not work to make a bulb.
So there has to be some self-realization to say that all of these steps that I've, tried did not give me my splendid outcome.
Right.
But it is possible that I need to try one more or a lot more to get to that end.
And you can see how he frames his poetic text is, it lands and slants splendid outcome. Why does he not say it drops off or it opens the roof to splendid outcome? He says lands and slants. Slowly and steadily you are improving. You may be doing mistake in one area, you have improved it. Still you are not achieving. So you are candid in your candor, in your efforts you are going. Again you are saying, no, maybe this is also not working. Let me improve little bit. So every time when we make little, it has a massive effect. Should I give you example? Sure. Imagine you improve yourself 1% per day. It may come out to be like 35% per year. 35% per year is a very big change. This kind of small changes that you make has a superb effect. That small changes every day can help you to lead to the destination.
So it seems that when it's with you, it looks like you have more control.
Yes.
What about the scenario where it is with someone else, meaning you're trying your different approaches and somebody somewhere, an external factor, is frustrating your results, what then do you what then happens?
I think it's a valid question we all face somewhere, sometimes, in some circumstances. But what we have to remember, the rule or principle is the game of life. The game is always in your hand. That belief, we sometimes lose our belief. We don't believe ourselves. There can be tough circumstances, but believe that you are, like in Christianity, they say you are made in the image of the God. So you have that divine power. Don't underestimate, don't get bogged down by the circumstance. You are in full control of your mind. And this is what the Sanskrit word in India also says, Yatha Brahmande Tatha Pinde, means the whole universe is within you. If you manage yourself, the universe will also be managed. So we don't go externally. Like I would not like to say, okay, Rosemary, why don't you do this way? I will instead work on myself, little by little to achieve. And it has to be a candid candor. It has to be have a truthful, purposeful, but with an open mindset. I will not say, okay, we can't win this match. You can't win this with this approach. Why don't you try another approach? So this another approach, like you are saying, people get bogged down, they get frustrated, is natural. But when you use the technique, what we have discussed in our previous is diary, when you flush out the negative, only then your mind will be in a creative and open mindset. Imagine you are bogged down. How will you get creative thoughts? So first, when you write diary, you flush out your thoughts to the diary. Okay, now your mind is peaceful. As a third person, you look at, okay, Mr. Devang, what is your problem? Oh, this is the problem. Do you really need to concentrate? Ignore the negative.
So you sort of come out of the situation, have an objective view.
Perfect.
So let's go to the next line. It says, try to be a prominent one by performing some prominent events, not through the devious deeds.
So I think this is very important, that some people, what happens in the game of life, when they step up the ladder, they blow their ego, or they find themselves that we are some other species, which creates a problem. The focus should be on achievement. The focus should be on the process. The focus should not be on your own ego. When you have the focus over your work, beat the drums, but you would focus on the performance. So this is what he is saying, that like imagine there is a footballer in a conference. But can he be considered a good footballer because he speaks well?
No, he has to play. And
so his goals speak more than whatever he can speak on mic. In the same way, there is a music director. His music speaks more than what he can speak in public life. It can be for an official who is focusing in his, let's imagine he is an IT person. So the IT infrastructure, the software, the customer experience he gives in his company will speak more than his CV, more than his certificates he has got.
You've made it very easy. I think now I understand it better when he says to be a prominent one, you have to perform some preeminent events. So you don't just go ahead to say, oh, I'm a good speaker, or oh, I know how to do so and so. Your work should speak for you. And that work has to be truth, not devious.
Another thing what you may also appreciate, that master is divine realized. Only then he is teaching. Like imagine I am sharing. I have also meditated for years together, trained under him, therefore I am speaking.
Leadership by example.
So we have to implement in our life to really connect to people. They may not appreciate if I do a copy paste, or if I do a, let's say, a Google. The reality behind the matter has to come. And that reality speaks for itself. Imagine there is a gold jewelry and there is a jewelry which is imitation. Both, and sometimes imitation has more glow than the real gold.
I think it also has to do with some of the activities that we perform. Because if I go back to ability, when we talked about there has to be certain things that we do to yield a good result.
Reliable result.
Reliable result. I think it's the same. If you're going to say you're somebody, do the hard work.
Do the hard.
Get the skill. And that will speak for you better than your words.
Perfect.
Perfecto. Eradicate the eccentricity. Initiate the innovation.
So I would say eccentricity is something like out of creativity you tried something different, but that different became a kind of absurdity. Keep an objective in mind and then bring the innovation element. Imagine, because I want to be prominent in a meeting, I gave a question or a point just to show my prominence. But really my contribution, my question is not helping the company or the person speaking.
There are a lot of people like that. They just want to try a point. And
asking different question is not the point. The point is ask the question with respect to objective. And it can raise different levels of growth for the company, for the family, for the society. So this is the thing is creativity not in the form of eccentricity. Creativity in the form of innovation for productive development of society, productive development of company or any other family member, including yourself.
Interesting. This is a big word. I hope I get it. Dionysius is an initial step in order to get success with no speculation of the consequence.
Okay, so it's a poetic. So what he says, Nisus basically means, you have a drive to do things, enthusiasm. Let's imagine you saw somebody play football and you played with him and you thought, no, I can also do it. So he says enthusiasm is not enough. Eagerness to do things is not enough. He says when you engage in it, you should also be disconnected with the consequence. Because what happens when we try something new, you will face challenges. And you are not anticipating, means you are not putting your desires to the target.
There's a perfect example that comes to mind is when, especially with creatives, you have a fantastic idea or an innovation. In the moment where the idea comes, you're excited, but soon enough something happens. You start to think about, how do I put it together? How do I get the funds? How do I? And at the end of the day, procrastination can happen, or it's a dead idea.
So I will take you to the other spectrum. Imagine you are working in a company, which of course you are working also. So tomorrow you have a presentation. The presentation is to a middle level manager. The way you are a very sincere person. You try your best, you try your innovation, and it's a good presentation. Now, when you gave a presentation next day, it was appreciated by everyone. The second day, now the presentation is not to a middle level manager. It is to, let's say, directors or board of directors, chairman maybe. Now because you are feeling, okay, now chairman is there, he's a big man. He can make or break. He can give you a sudden promotion, or he can... What happens? You lose the night sleep.
You start worrying.
You are already a superb guy. You have given 100% creativity. You have made good presentation. But what is the thing now? Now this perspective, the make or break, very important. You are sweating in air conditioning. Will you be able to deliver 100%? The answer is no.
No.
So that is what he is saying, consequence. Don't connect to the consequence when you are engaging in the activity. Engage it in fully. Give your 100%, give your best.
It's very interesting, but I'm so curious because in the real world, when you're dealing with a mid-level person, I'm sure you've had conversations with them in the past, you're used to this person. But to a chairman, the pressure of even speaking with a chairman is enough to disorientate yourself and your mind. How then do you take that out and just focus on the work that has to be done?
I think it's a very fair question. And it has two sides to it. One is chairman level, he may have an investor approach, which may differ from a manager approach.
Definitely.
But finally, like a manager, chairman is also a human being. So if you get bogged down with the levels, it means you are at a lower level from a company hierarchy perspective. But from a soul perspective, everyone is the same. Everyone is the same human being. So this is very important that you can understand the perspective from a customer-centric approach. You can give him respect. But if you get bogged down and if you're already shaking and shivering the night before, your presentation will not be natural. So the purpose is to bring your naturality. And this is what we have to all the time remember. A peaceful mind is a powerful mind. You have to maintain your balance. You have to maintain your center and deliver the best. That best cannot be delivered if it is affected or if it is colored by fear. It doesn't have to be greed also, like over attachment and fear. So you have to come, like we discussed in the last, is balanced state of mind. This may happen, but when you will do a kind of introspection like we discussed last time, you will say, I could have done better. Okay, I did a very good presentation to chairman, but there was an element of fear.
Apart from, doing the whole journal activity, how else can one achieve a balanced state of mind?
So there are three sides to it. Because when you do introspection, when you learn, it is the game of mind and intellect. But when you are under the influence of fear, the mind intellect does not work. Naturally, you may try to forget, oh, I learned this master set, I don't remember. So there are 3 steps to it, 3 sides. Let's say imagine a triangle. So the one is introspection. The second is breathing exercise, which is, we call it as pranayama. And the third side is meditation. When you practice all the 3 together, then a transformation will take place. It cannot only be by remembering the words. It cannot only be by breathing. Of course, meditation is a very higher stage. And you cannot come to a zero thought level without being free from fear or undue pressures of attachment or greed.
So how do you separate preparation from worry? Because I'm thinking, if you're going to speak to the chairman or whatever case it is, you have to prepare. How do you separate that? Because the mind wanders a lot. You might start, with the motive of, okay, I want to prepare, I want to make an outstanding performance.
Awesome, yeah.
And then the next thing, your mind is somewhere else.
Yeah.
How do you have a clean thought? You prepare, do your presentation, and that is it.
So let us take the example to a game. Let's imagine there is a football match where hardly there are 20 spectators. And let's imagine the football match which is at a global level, like a Copa American Cup or a World Cup. The crowd is, very big and loud. Change the focus from the crowd. Change the cruciality from the crowd to oneself. Whether it is 20 spectator or whether it is full of crowd, whether it is chairman or a middle manager. Our inside should say we have to deliver 100%.
Right. That's a good one. So basically
Yes.
what we're saying is it should not be about the person in front of us or the people in front of us. It should always be who we are.
Perfect.
So the way you prepare for a 1-man audience is the way you should prepare for a 20-man audience. At the end of the day, you build ability, you become more confident, your capacity grows. That's a nice one.
And you will have a sense of satisfaction that at my end, I have given my 100%. It may not come out to be bombastic or 100% successful. So what he is saying is remove your focus from the result.
Right.
Focus on your preparation, on the process, and give your 100%. Honest 100%.
Enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
As opposed to why I need to show up for this person. I need to. Very insightful. So it says, besides, we have to be equipped to face the frustration occurred. We know pusillanimity. I hope I got that right.
Yeah. I think that's a meaning of lack of courage. What he's saying basically is, he uses the word besides.
Besides.
So he says you are eager, you try your honest efforts. Take it with a pinch of salt. Whosoever has done good in their life, whether they are good investors, they are good businessmen, they are good professionals, they have burnt the midnight oil. They have faced challenges. Don't think it will be a cakewalk. So prepare your mind for the frustration. It means you have tried your best, but still more is required to be covered. Prepare your mind for the shock. Like you are driving the car, you may have bumps. The shock ups, make sure the car is in intact and well working condition. So when you are working towards the goal, have a kind of risk management. Try your best, put full energy. But if there is frustration, have a shock up. Don't get broke or don't get breakdown with shocks. It is natural to get a kind of friction, challenges when you try for an achievement. So if you have that kind of rationalization in your mind, you will not get a break, but you will come back to it with more rigor, more innovative mindset and introspective bent of mind.
That's good. So the next line says, it isn't enough of being anxious and ambitious. It needs the wit, the civic and the lack sense of action in order to lay up the success desired. But no punic prudence. What does this mean?
See, when he says no punic prudence, it basically means no impulsive behavior. Imagine you had a bad experience with your peers, with your colleagues or with your bosses. You said, no, I don't want to, I'll leave the job today. That is punic prudence. What kind of situation it is? When I want to take a step, what will be the implication of it on my life? See the financial implication. Can I hold? What innovative approach I could have used to take it further? So this, why the sentence ends with punic prudence. It is a big no. Don't be impulsive. Take a seat back, think of it. Don't react instantly, is what he is writing.
So how long would you say is healthy enough to think about it? Because there are people in difficult situations. I'm going to ask a very tricky question.
Okay,
I hope I'm not putting you in the spot.
That you have been asking all the time.
But it's a very sensitive question. Let's say you have a lady or a man in an abusive situation or relationship, whether that abuse is emotional or physical. Somebody looking from the outside would say to the lady or the man in that situation, please leave, stand up, go, you know, your safety, your health is better, go. It could be impulsive. But when it comes to something as important as your life at stake, what is impulse?
So I think it's a very difficult question you have asked. As usual, you have been asking very difficult question. Living the game of life is aligning with the nature and being happy and peaceful within. It has happened with many people, like Gautam Buddha, it was there, people abused him a lot. And then they said sorry in evening. Morning they abused, sorry they said. And Gautam Buddha said, why are you asking me sorry? I did not take your abuse. Had I taken your abuse, you could have asked sorry and I would have given. But at this point, I can't give you excuse, I can't give you pardon. Because whatever you gave me, I did not take it. So the game is always with you. It doesn't mean I am telling you you should rationalize with abuse. I am saying you need to go to the particular peer or colleague and say, sir, this is not respectful. You have to say. And if it continues, you also have to do risk management to find a new job. But not with impulse, after deep thinking and good communication with your peers. What I am saying is, don't convert into a mat in which everybody can clean their shoes. You are not a mat. You are a divine being. You need a respect and love which anybody and everybody in this planet deserves. So don't allow anybody to abuse you also. You have to say, sir, this is not respectful. I will not appreciate. You are not saying, I am leaving your company now, but you are saying, I do not appreciate, sir. Okay? Let us read the first line also, which also is very important in this discussion.
Isn't enough of being anxious and ambitious.
Only being anxious as to what will happen, I think I will make it, is not enough. What it requires, 3 words he has said, which we need to consider. What is it? Wit. Wit means innovation. Innovation in your game of life. What are you made for? What are your strengths, your capabilities, your talents? What you could deliver? Imagine I tell Messi that Messi, you stop playing football. I think I have to teach you singing. What he will do? Imagine.
He may laugh the way I just
laughed. He may laugh. And people may abuse that, okay, why are you not coming to the right tune? He's not made for it. So we also have to understand oneself. What you are made of, what are your strengths, where you can deliver maximum. So that is the wit, innovation. He focuses on that. Then he says civic. Now civic means it has to be good for the society. Now what is good for the society? It starts with good with oneself. If you do not tell the colleague that, okay, why are you using this language? I do not appreciate. He will use with others and give a wrong message in society. While as a friend, there is a possibility people can abuse each other out of friendship and love also. We don't know. People don't just abuse because they feel bad. They sometimes abuse out of love also. So we have to understand perspectives. There is a person who may use a lot of abusive in normal sense. Because he loves the person more, he may be using more words. But we have to correct if we are not used to it. If we don't understand his loving perspective. Okay. So what is it? Wit, civic. And liak, he is saying very important. Liak means you have a purpose for which you are doing the work. You are not doing the work without keeping in mind the purpose part of it. Imagine you have joined a particular activity, a community. You know why I have joined. I have not joined because my friend has joined. I have not joined because I am getting salary out of it. Salary, friendship, everything will follow once your purpose, your identity is established. Okay, this is the reason I am joining. Once your reason is fixed, everything will follow. Friend circles, social status, money, everything will follow. So the third word, LIAC. So with innovation, civic, with a good intention for oneself and society. LIAC, purpose. You are here to score the goal. You have to focus. You are not here for getting clapped from the crowd. If you open the shirt in the football match, maybe the referee catches you and they put a fine and people clap for you. But that is not the clap for which you are playing the game. You are playing the game to score the goal. You are not playing the game for a night dance party as a footballer. You are playing the game to score goal. So that intention, that LIAC has to be there. Why I am here? Am I fulfilling my purpose? And am I using innovative ways in my ways of working?
So in summary, you're saying that whatever situation that we find ourselves, it is important to ask the question, why am I here? What is the purpose?
Yes.
What are some of the creative ways that I can help,
Yes.
innovate that purpose?
Yes.
Viewers, we've come to the end of achievement, but I would love for us to have a summary, of what the master is trying to say to us when it comes to achievements.
I want to just contribute a small point that in the whole book, if we focus on only one line of maneuverable endeavor, what we have discussed,
The first line.
it can transform your personal life at material plane. If you are looking for money, progress, growth, if you are not ready to read 10,000 books or more than like me, if you can understand the meaning of two lines,
Maneuver
it
endeavor.
is enough to give you what you have targeted for. If you have achieved already, but you want to explore the spiritual plane and dimensions of meditation, the same line will also help you.
Maneuverable
Because when you are
endeavor.
meditating and your experience is the same, you have to give maneuverable endeavor. You have to analyze, I am daily meditating, praying. Am I doing better than earlier? Is my connectivity with God, with the divine, with the nature? Has my anger gone down? Am I more happy naturally? Do people like to talk to me? Am I helpful? So that purpose, LIAC, what we said, you are there in the game of life. You are interacting with many people. So this too, and what master also all the time says, spirituality and materiality are two sides of the same coin. When you are eating, that eating activity helps to build your body and mind. But the moment you pray and eat, that same eating activity, material activity, becomes a spiritual activity also. The God, the divine, the nature also participates with you. So I would appreciate if people, if they don't have time, they are very busy, they are bogged down with situations. In all situations, this is the master key.
With all situations, you have to look for a way out, an endeavor to help.
So first of all is what you said very nicely, and you said in a summary, I think one paragraph before, is you have to offload the pressure first and see it as a third person. That is the key.
Come out of the situation and,
Yes.
objectively look at the situation.
Very nice.
Okay, this has been good. Thank you so much for coming on the show again. And, I am very open to go on this journey with the viewers on Sphoorthi Synopsis. I think that it is a book that would redefine our world, and we're always excited to have you with us. Thank you, everybody. We've come to the end of another heartwarming episode of Game of Life. We're still on the journey or the celebration of Sphoorthi Synopsis. You know where to find us. You can go on the description box. When you have questions, we have email addresses that, you can send all your questions to Mr. Divank. We're happy to take them and we'll discuss it on the next episode. I can't wait to see your questions. I can't wait to see your engagement. Remember to like, subscribe, comment. We're open to hear from you. Thank you once again. See you on the next episode.